Hello there everybody, it is me FreezerBunny and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Okay guys, so today we are speed building my very first penthouse in the Sims 4 featuring the third expansion pack for the game, City Living. Okay, so first off, I just want to let you guys know that I'm currently sick. I have a flu or a cold and I've had it for a couple of days now, but I cannot wait to just share this build with you guys. So as soon as I finished it, I was like, okay, don't care if I'm feeling under the weather, I'm gonna go ahead and record my commentary. So hopefully you guys bear with me, okay? So this penthouse is called the Tokyo Penthouse, which is conveniently located in the fashion district of San Myshuno. Now, if you guys didn't know, the fashion district was apparently based off of Tokyo, Japan, with all of its neon lights and its modern architecture. So that's actually really interesting. I think that's really relevant to this build, and I think that this kind of style really matched the area that it was in. So for this build, I actually took a lot of time to conceptualize it because I wanted it to be very special. I didn't want it to be just your average, penthouse, because I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a lot of those already. So I decided to go for a theme that kind of celebrates one of my favorite aspects of city living, and that is kind of the multicultural international aspect of that, because we don't really get that much culture in The Sims. And with city living though, we get a lot of continental culture and we got a lot of international culture, which I really appreciate. And you can see that in all the different stuff that we have in the game. We have some Asian themed stuff, we have some African Sahara themed stuff. It's amazing. I really like it, and to be honest with you guys, I had a lot of fun building because all the new items are just so freaking amazing. I swear, I love all of the items that came with city living. So anyway, so for the architecture, I went for kind of like a postmodern theme here, using traditional Japanese architectural elements together with just modern architecture. So it's very international, definitely, and it's also very unique because I used a Japanese torii. If you guys don't know what a torii is, it is a ceremonial gateway that leads to sacred places. So that's really common in Japan. And I used the torii motif on the prominent feature of this of this penthouse, and you guys can see them on the sides or on the fronts. On the main entrance, we have two enormous torii gates that are bright red, and you can literally see them from 10 miles away. It's crazy. They're so iconic, and I feel like they kind of add that extra oomph that makes this build a little bit more special compared to just the normal modern just a normal modern penthouse build, I guess. So for the interior, I went with very sophisticated, modern, a little bit contrasting with the outside, because the outside is kind of really crazy. It has bright colors, it has really dramatic shapes. The interior is really refined, really classy, and really sophisticated. Actually, it's very modern, minimalist, but with a lot of drama because on the inside, I actually have some Japanese gardens, or just indoor gardens, I guess. And gardens are a huge part of Japanese architecture. We have some Japanese gardens that are very iconic all over the world. So I incorporated that in both the inside and the outside of this build. I also have to point out that the lag is still a thing. The lag is real, you guys. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with EA, how they haven't fixed it yet, but I've had this lag for a month where the game would stop for 10 seconds, and it's very it's okay, it's very tolerable, but at the same time it interrupts your concentration, and you're where you're in the moment and you can just and you feel like you're unstoppable. Then you get the lag, so it's kind of it kind of ruins the moment. But you know what? It's something that all of us had to deal with. A lot of you guys told me that other simmers have it as well, so it's cool. It's pretty cool. So you guys can also kind of see me incorporate a lot of J-pop elements to it. You know, a lot of people think of Japan as a really like traditional country, which is really true. But at the same time, Japan is also at the forefront of modernity and innovation. Like the high-tech industry, like some of that is, you know, like originated in Japan, like games, video games, robotics, and all that stuff. I also wanted to incorporate that. So it's like a mix really of futuristic and traditional for the outside. So anyway, the person who lives here, obviously, if you guys haven't guessed it yet, is Japanese. I designed this penthouse to be the home of a game developer, actually, of a video game developer living with his wife in San Myshuno. And I actually really, really like that because San Myshuno is a melting pot of many Sims from many different races. And I really like that. You know, I'm Asian, so I mean, you know, it feels really great actually to have that in The Sims. So anyway, like I said, the person who lives here is a video game developer. He works for a company called Circle NX. Yeah, I just made that up. But I am so obsessed with Final Fantasy right now, developed by Square Enix and released in November 2016. Final Fantasy 15, you guys, I'm obsessed. I've played like the first 2 hours of it, but I really had to record this. So yeah, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going straight back to Prompto, Noctis, Ignis, and Gladiolus, and we're gonna have a lot of good times together. I feel like I'm so all over the place. Okay, you know what? Back to the build. So, the game developer, he doesn't necessarily work in this place. He only comes home to rest and to relax because most of the time he spends at work, because we all know that video game development is a really, really, really stressful job. Some video game developers only sleep for like 3 hours a day or something like that, which is crazy to me. You know, so he only comes here to rest and to relax. That's why the garden aspect is really, really important. And also, other than our game developer who lives in this house, he also lives with his wife, and the two of them are the only residents of this. There are, in fact, 3 bedrooms in this house, but the people who live here, there's only 2 of them. They have some staff, I guess, you know, they can have a butler, they can have a maid or a cook, but those people don't necessarily live here. There are a total of 3 bedrooms. There is 1 master bedroom and 2 additional guest bedrooms for family members who are staying over from Japan or from guests. So yeah, the people who live here, the couple who lives here, really, really like to throw parties and stuff. They like to throw social events, which is kind of a part of their job, to be fair. The wife, she doesn't have an actual profession, but she is very active when it comes to charity events. She always participates, she always contributes, and also she is a big fashionista as well. And you guys can see that all of the bedrooms in this house have a really, really large walk-in closet. I used like the largest 2x2 closet, I guess, that came with The Sims 4 Get Together. So yeah, all of those walk-in closets are in each of the bedrooms, which is pretty cool. And you guys, what's awesome about this is that it's not symmetrical. Yes, I'm getting over my comfort zone of building things that are uber symmetrical, and this time it's just super crazy. I'm not even talking about the build yet because I'm trying to establish like who the people are and how do they live here. Like, I want you guys to get a good idea of the people who live here because I feel like that's gonna provide context to all the different stuff that I'm doing. So, there is an infinity pool that overlooks the beautiful, beautiful skyline of San Myshuno. I placed it there specifically because, first of all, there's not much space on like the ground level. You guys actually saw me a little bit earlier on try to look for a space to build it, but there really wasn't, and I really didn't want to have like a super small swimming pool, so I just decided to put it at the very edge of the lot so we can have like a lap pool slash infinity pool, and that infinity pool is actually visible from the from the dining room as well. So the dining room actually has huge windows that are floor to ceiling, and it opens up into the swimming pool. So I feel like that's really special because you can kind of see the skyline in between glass and water, which is a beautiful, beautiful effect. It has this rippling effect. It's very, very beautiful. So over here, I am trying to paint these planter boxes. Those are all going to be filled with planter boxes. Or like plants, not planter box, just plants. But yeah, it takes a while to paint them all individually because if I press shift, it will paint the entire, like, you know, it'll overhaul the entire paint scheme. So I tried to avoid that. Anyway, one really unique aspect of this penthouse is actually the helipad. I haven't seen anyone on YouTube do a helipad yet, and I feel like it's such a common feature in penthouses because I actually live right next to a shopping mall, and right next to that shopping mall I think is the house of the owner, or like the penthouse of the owner. So every day I would hear like his helicopter like pick him up or something. I mean, because you know, these CEOs, they don't have to deal with traffic and stuff like that. So that's where I kind of got the idea of having this helipad, which is so much fun, you guys. Like, this is like a lot of fun. So you guys can just see me struggle here a little bit with the H because it's not becoming the shape that I wanted to. So I just went ahead and chose some rugs as, you know, as like the H shape, which I actually, you know, it actually looks really nice. So yeah. And then over here, we're just extending the third level. Obviously, initially, this thing started off as like a 2-level thing, but eventually I just got caught up in it and I made it a lot more complicated than I was initially expecting when I started off. So there's a total of actually 4 levels in this house. So the first level is basically like all the living room and all the dining room and the kitchen and 1 guest room. And the first level is basically like the public area, you know, like that's where you would entertain, that's where you would hold all the social events. The second level is more for the guests and for entertainment. So there is another guest bedroom on the second level, as well as the area that leads to the swimming pool as well. And then on the third level, I swear, it's only the master bedroom. It is that big. The master suite is like 5 rooms. It's enormous, you guys. So, and then on the 4th level, we have nothing really. Oh yeah, on the 4th level, we have the gym and the hot tub. And then on the 5th level, we have the helipad, of course. So it looks like we are already furnishing the interiors. So yay. I actually want to ask you guys a quick question really quick. Quick question really quick. Yeah, right. Like, literally, you guys, I am so all over the place. Like, I'm still sick, and I know that you guys don't really care if I'm sick or not. But yeah, I'm just sick, so please bear with me. I could not think straight. So yeah, I just had some flu medicine, and that thing kind of makes you a little bit sleepy. So after this, I'm probably gonna get a nap, or if I can survive it, I'm probably gonna go straight to Final Fantasy. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh my gosh, I forgot. See, I forgot now. Literally, like, no attention span whatsoever. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the interiors, I guess. So yeah, like I said, the interior is very minimalist and modern. The staircase is over here. It leads to all the different levels, and I actually had a kind of tricky time trying to incorporate the staircase because it was actually like, I don't know, it was really tricky. I was able to pull it off, I guess, if I do say so myself. But yeah, I actually really like how it turned out. It's not like too over the top. It's just right, you know? And yeah. So, most of the color scheme, I used a lot of whites for the base color, and then I used a lot of blacks as well. It's like a lot of black and white, and for the outside, there are some red accents, and then for the inside, there's a lot of neutral accents. So yeah, there you go. the outside is looking really, really nice. Like right now, it looks pretty awesome if I do say so myself. So yeah, I also used those chandeliers that came with let's see here. I'm not sure. Did they come with spa day? I think they came with spa day. Yeah. Those chandeliers that came with spa day, they are literally like in most of the big rooms in this house. So we have them in the dining room, in the living room, and yeah. So yeah, I do not even know what I'm doing right now. I'm just like, like flying over this thing, like watching it because it's so awesome. Oh, I'm also taking pictures as well, so you guys can see me take pictures. Because if you guys don't know, I have a Facebook page, and I usually like post stuff on my Facebook page, like as previews and stuff. So like a couple of days ago, I posted like a picture of the exterior, and I also posted a picture of the interior as well. So yeah. The interior design and decoration also has a little bit of an industrial vibe as well. You guys can see it with all the different concrete textures and tiles that I used. It's very, very, it has like this very industrial feel, which I actually really, really like as well. And that room in the center that's like 2 stories tall is only the living room. I know, right? Like the rooms in this house are like so big. Like the living room and the dining room and the kitchen are so enormous. Even the master bedroom is so big. And I think that is like a status statement, cause in a world where there's limited space, especially in urban areas, you have this ostentatious use of space, and I think that says a lot about your wealth and your status in society to be able to be that careless and reckless with your use of space. So you guys just saw me throw in like a basketball court, which is a new feature or aspect that came with city living as well. So yeah. For the interior landscaping, I went with, I do not know what kind of landscaping this is, to be honest. I just chose the plants that didn't look weird on the inside. I really, really wanted to use the ferns and like the tropical looking plants, but they had like this weird lighting, on the inside. Like I didn't know why they had this weird lighting, but they have. Cause for the outside, I was planning to make it kind of tropical, but yeah, I ended up going with my first schematic or my first choice of plants and stuff because I think that they look pretty cool. I like the subtle differences in colors, I guess. We have these bushes and topiaries, I guess, that have a little bit more yellow tone. And we have these, kind of like grass that has like a little bit more of a seaweed tone. So, it's like that nice little combination. And of course I threw in those flowers that came with, Romantic Garden because I think that they add a nice little extra oomph to the look. It adds a nice dimension as well to it. So yeah. And once again, just painting the thing, the planter boxes, and it looks like we are just about to start decorating the interior. We're probably gonna start decorating the living room, I'm guessing. Or are we? Yeah. Okay, no, not yet. We are going to actually make another planter box over here for the dining room. That was initially just supposed to be an empty, like, room or something, but I figured that, you know what, let's make it a little bit more cohesive and spread out kind of all the different elements that we have. So for the dining room, it also has its own kind of, planter box as well that kind of ties it in with the living room. And the dining in the living room is such a huge space. You can literally like host a ball or something, like you can literally host like a super important event over there. And also I think I forgot to mention that there is an elevator over there in the main entrance. The part where the elevator is supposed to be where the main entrance is. I was really surprised though that we can only have one elevator, because if you have like a 4-story penthouse, you can only have one elevator, like, and then for the rest of the penthouse you can only use the stairs. I feel like that's such a weird design choice, but whatever. Also across the elevator, you guys won't see me do this, but across the elevator there is going to be what's it called, like that the mailbox. Yeah, the mailbox for the penthouse. So it's the mailbox that came with City Living as well, that attaches to the wall. So anyway, we are furnishing the living room, and in terms of the furnishing, I did go for something that's very severe, or like something that's very rigid, I guess. We already have a lot of soft elements happening. We have like some interior plants and stuff. So I thought that it would be a good complement to have a little bit of a severe, or like a little bit of a rigid layout for the furniture, which I actually really, really like. I know that a lot of you guys would prefer it to be more organic and stuff, but I actually really like how straight everything is. And just to not make it so straight, I threw in a couple of elements that would make it more asymmetrical, like that lamp and the chair nearest the lamp to like the left. I also kind of made it into an angle a little bit so that it, like I said, it's not like so symmetrical. And also the coffee table, which I love, by the way. That coffee table came with City Living and I love it. It's gorgeous. I also made it into an angle and I combined it with another coffee table just to make it a little bit larger. So yeah, over there towards the back of the living room, I will throw in a piano a little bit later on. And yeah, so right now we are working on the dining room, and I have to say that probably my favorite rooms in the oh my gosh, I cannot choose. Honestly, you guys, literally like my best work ever. I swear, like I know I say this in like every other build that I do, but this one, I absolutely love it. If I were to design my dream penthouse, it would be like this. Like I would not change a single thing. I would not modify. I would just move it in here immediately if I had the option to do so. But yeah, all the rooms I love, but the rooms that I love particularly are the living room, dining room, kitchen, and the master bedroom and master bathroom, which is literally like all the other rooms. So yeah. And you guys can see me do some cheeky saves as well. Saving because it's very important, because I worked a lot of hours in this. It's like, I think it took me a total of 5 hours to build this, which is not that long, to be honest, considering some of my builds can take a lot more than that. But 5 hours is a good amount of time to spend on a build. If you really, really want to make something great and special, you really have to put your time into it. So there we go, the dining room that has the beautiful view of San Myshuno from across the swimming pool. The effect is amazing. So yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, and right now we are working on the kitchen. Yay! Alright, so initially the kitchen is actually really tricky for me to furnish because the structure of the kitchen room itself, it's a square, and it's really hard to make a square look interesting because, you know, you have a tendency to make it all symmetrical and stuff, but literally the last thing that this kitchen is boring because it is so much fun. I love it so much. I think that this is probably the most beautiful kitchen that I've ever made, and I swear it is. Like, I love it. I love the floor to ceiling windows. I love the counters. Those are my favorite counters, actually. They came with Cool Kitchen, I believe. Yeah, they came with Cool Kitchen, and those are my favorite. Like, they're so beautiful. I think the fact that the kitchen has a skylight also contributes to making it look pretty awesome. And I think what really makes it look super sophisticated and super elegant is that like wine rack or liquor rack that I put on top of the stove. So also, I always forget to put these in my builds, but there is a legit bar, people. Yes, there's a bar. You know, Freezer Bunny drinks confirmed. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there is a bar. I'm really happy with how I incorporated it into the counters. I wish that we had counters for the bar that matched the counters for the kitchen. But you know what? You cannot have everything, so whatever. Also, I used those industrial looking cluster of lights that came with City Living, and they look so beautiful. They look so freaking awesome, you guys. Like, I swear, the kitchen is freaking dope. I'm talking really weird right now. It's probably like it's the medicine. It's the flu medicine, you guys. But the kitchen is looking pretty dope. Like, totally, if there's a party over here, everybody would be at the kitchen, because let's be real, that's where the bar is. Everybody will be at the kitchen. Also, the view from the kitchen is so beautiful. You know what? To be fair, all the views all over the house are beautiful. So, yeah. And of course, I'm throwing in a nice little coffee maker and a microwave as well, because, you know, if you don't have time to cook, just go ahead and heat something and it'll be fine. Okay, there goes the piano. And I've tested this house actually, and you can actually hire a pianist. And it's so weird because with the pianist there, it feels so much like a hotel. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like, listening to like the classic jazzy tunes on the piano is pretty dope. Pretty awesome. So over here, I'm just actually like figuring out how to fill in that space in the living room, because there's like a big open space towards the front of it. And over here, I really like this area. This is like a little reading area over here underneath the staircase. How freaking cool is that, right? That's pretty cool. I also really like that bookshelf as well. I think it's so sculptural. It's so simple, but it's really nice and sculptural. And I think that it really does fill up the space really nicely. So over here in the living room, I couldn't figure out what to put for that opening space. So I just threw in like a nice little plant that came with City Living. So yeah. And we are working on our very first bedroom for this build. This is actually the formal guest room. So out of the 2 guest rooms that we have in this house, this is the larger one. And this is basically where you would put your family when they're staying over. You know, like the owner, as I mentioned, he's from Japan, and I'm pretty sure he's often getting some relatives over from Japan, so this is probably where they would stay if they're staying for long periods of time. So yeah, there's a nice little bed over there. That bed I love. It's a bed that came with City Living, but the color of it is where it gets kind of iffy for me. I love the bed itself and the design of it, but like the color, it's just so black. I wish we can somehow change like the bed sheets or the bed frame at least. I don't know, like it's just so black. You can barely see it in the carpet. But I didn't really want to change the carpet. You guys can see me try to change it here a little bit, but I really didn't want to change it because I really like that effect of that like line texture on it. I really like it. So I was like, you know what? People can see the bed. I don't care. So I just went with that. And then, over here, I'm just incorporating some different ways to have some lighting. Cause usually when I'm designing like modern architecture, I usually go very minimalist and very dramatic, and to have that drama, I use lights. Like the use of lighting is so important for me in modern architecture and in design, because you can only do so much with simple shapes, you know? But if you incorporate a correct and dramatic lighting component, it just changes the entire thing. It makes the thing look a lot more elevated and a lot more unique. So yeah. So over here, I was actually really careful with my use of plants. I wanted to make sure that all of the plants that I used had the same kind of hue to them. I didn't want to change. I didn't want to have like such a different type of plant. Like I was very particular about the colors of them, and I wanted them to match. So yeah, that because I wanted it all to be uniform. I put a lot of thought into that kind of stuff. So yeah, the bathrooms are actually really simple. All of the bathrooms have a bathtub. They don't necessarily have a shower because I couldn't find like a nice shower that I couldn't find like a nice minimalist shower, so I just went with like a bathtub instead. And I love that bathtub. It came with spa day, of course, and it has this matching sink. I'm really surprised though that the sink that came with spa day does not match any of the bathtub or the sinks, but I really like it. And I think it actually looks pretty dope. Like the bathroom is really simple, but once again, the lighting aspect really makes it, it just makes it a lot more dramatic. It brings out the shape in all of the modern pieces that I put in. And, even though the bathtub, it's a bathtub, it feels more like a sculpture if you look at it in the light. And if you actually download this, you guys, you can place this in the exact same lot here in the fashion district. And the lighting during the morning sunrise is so freaking beautiful. Like, it is so gorgeous. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, it comes in the windows and it's like the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. Okay, so right now we are working on the second guest bedroom over here, which is located on the second level. Now, this is the second guest bedroom, and it's also kind of the secondary guest bedroom, which is used more during like unexpected guests, because if you guys notice, it's located right next to the swimming pool, which is kind of like the party area. And you know, if you have friends over, if you have a party, you don't necessarily know when those friends are gonna get their stuff out of your house, and if they're too drunk to leave, they can just stay in this bedroom. That's pretty much what my idea for this bedroom is. Like, you know, the owner had like some friends that are too drunk to go home, so he offers his guest bedroom, and it's all good. That's why it's really small. It's really small. It has a nice little sitting area outside of it, but it's technically not a part of the bedroom. So yeah, it's quite small. There's just a bed over there and a walk-in closet, of course, and also a nice sized bathroom. But I think what really makes this bedroom is the fact that it has a great view of the swimming pool. So yeah. You know, if you're planning to do some skinny dipping as well and follow it up with some woohoo, this is the perfect room for it because you don't have to walk that far. So yeah, once again, just being very simple with all the details. The architecture here really makes it for me. It's less about the decoration and more of the drama of the building itself, because like all the bold shapes and lines and colors are really what makes this building unique for me, and I really like it. Like, I am obsessed. Like, I'm obsessed. So over here, the decoration is a little bit symmetrical. There is that beautiful kind of statement sofa over there at the very center, and then we have some plants on either side of them. Nothing too crazy. Really simple composition. Over here, I really tried to incorporate like an artwork, but I could not find the right painting. I just cannot find it. So I decided to just keep it there. But if you actually look at that wall, it has like the wall texture that has like the tiles and stuff. It has a beautiful texture. So I was like, you know what? Let's just preserve the texture and roll with it. Like it doesn't have to have a painting there. The texture itself, I think, really makes the effect anyway. So yeah. And over here, I'm just really trying to incorporate other elements, but I felt like it got too overwhelming. So yeah, I just didn't I didn't over decorate it for sure this time, because sometimes I tend to over decorate it every time, especially when I do like themed builds. I really over decorate, but this time I just, you know what, this is probably like my most realistic build that I've done in a while. So, you know, I'm really happy with that. It shows that I can be versatile, I guess. And it's great to be back with some modern architecture this time. Cause usually I do a lot of themed stuff recently. So yeah. And then over here, just adding in some decorations on the corners. I really didn't want to have any dead space. So, you know, I wanted to make sure that all of the different corners have something interesting happening in them. So yeah. I think that one of the few wall art that I have is this kind of like blocks of 4, you know, I don't know what to call them. It's just, you know, wooden blocks, which I think really complements the design. You know, it's really simple and straightforward. And over here, we have a nice little sitting area as well. You guys probably noticed by now that lamp, that like corner lamp that I used a lot, has been used a lot in this build. Like, I've used it so many times in this build, it's like freaking crazy. But yeah, I really like that lamp. It adds like an extra color to break down the monotony of all the blacks and the whites that we have. So yeah, I actually kept changing my mind with the like the base of the helipad, because of course I wanted to give it like a base, but I initially started with like an octagon, and then right now it's a square. Eventually though, I will make that square a little bit bigger and it will become a gym, just so there's actual purpose on the 4th level. So yeah, actually over here in the pool area there really isn't much going on. I didn't want to put too many stuff there because we really didn't have that much space. I kind of wanted to put in like a barbecue area, but there is a barbecue area on like the lower level. So yeah, nothing too crazy happening there. But once again, I didn't feel like it was necessarily to over decorate it. Oh my gosh, you guys. And right now we are beginning to furnish the master bedroom. And once again, I feel like I've done so many builds and so many bedrooms already, but this by far is one of my favorites. I think this is so unique because it's so big. Like I said, it has like 5 rooms in total. Like, it's crazy, right? It has a walk-in closet. It has an enormous bathroom, a sitting area, an office area, as well as a balcony that overlooks the view of the swimming pool and of San Myshuno. And the balcony also kind of serves as like a wellness area. I've thought that the wife of the owner is kind of like a wellness addict. She likes to be all zen and relax and stuff like that. So, which is a really Japanese thing, like Zen garden design is very Japanese as well. So there you go. So yeah, we have a wellness rug or mat in the balcony that came, I believe that mat came with spa day, of course. And you guys just saw me a second ago throw in like some candles that came with city living. Those candles are so beautiful because they represent like my three kind of color swatches that I used all around this house. We have black, neutral, and red. So I feel like it really ties them in together. I also use that candle like many times as well. So yeah. And then, oh my gosh, you guys can see here in the bedroom how I used dramatic lighting. So yeah, it's not like the flush light where like every space has the same light, because that's not dramatic and that's very basic. In the bedroom, there's some parts where it's really, really dark and there's some parts where it's really, really bright and illuminated. And I really like that because it gives like variety, it gives texture, and it gives depth to the space. Because the master bedroom's really simply decorated, but there's a lot of depth to that space. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I also love this thing that I did with the master bathroom. The bathtub actually sits on like a layer of pebbles and stuff, and that actually continues on into some of the design elements that I did on the outside. You guys will see me actually like incorporate that a little bit later on. I really, really like that. I don't know what those pebbles come with. I'm assuming they came with let's see here. Get Together. I think they might have come with Get Together, so yeah. And once again, the master bathroom's really, really simple, nothing too crazy, but you know what? It's pretty dramatic. The views are insane. Like, as you go higher and higher in this penthouse, the views become more and more beautiful, so yeah. And of course, we have the lag once again. Hello, lag. And yeah, over here, it's another reading area, kind of. Nothing too crazy, just, just the bare stuff, a rug, no, not a rug, a bookshelf, a plant, and a sofa. So I was initially gonna put the wellness mat. I don't know what those are called. The yoga mat. Okay. I was initially gonna put the yoga mat on the side, but you know what? I wanted it to be a little bit more prominent. It is, the passion of, the wife of the owner. So, she deserves that kind of attention to the architecture. So yeah, there is a space exclusively for the yoga mat. Really, really beautiful space. I love how it is on the rocks. It's like super awesome. And I tried to line all of these I tried to line the borders of the flooring with like that super short fence, but it cancels out all of the painted areas already, so I had to go back and repaint many of the areas, which is actually a thing that I really don't like in the Sims 4. I don't like it when you put some fences and or some walls and then it deletes like the like you know it deletes like the paints that you've already done. So it's kind of, it makes it a lot more time consuming. So that's like one really disappointing thing that I had to deal with over there. And yeah, over here we're just throwing in some lounge chairs, and I initially throw in a lot of lounge chairs, like a lot of them, but I will just I won't keep all of these. I will only keep the ones closest to the swimming pool, but the other ones I will delete because I feel like they don't really need those lounge chairs, and I feel like they're in awkward spaces as well. So, oh, you guys just saw me enlarge the space for the gym. And then across the gym we have the space for the let's see here, the space for the hot tub as well. So yeah, I actually am really proud of the fact that all of the major things that I usually forget to put in my luxury homes, I was able to incorporate seamlessly in this apartment. You know, we have a nice hot tub, a gym, a bar, those things I usually don't incorporate because I forget them, but in this situation, they're there, which is pretty cool. So for the gym, I used mostly, stuff from Spa Day. And then for the hot tub area, of course, I used a lot of, what do these things call? Outdoor living stuff, I think. Is there an outdoor living? I'm not sure. I think there is. I'm not sure. Like, or backyard. No, it's not backyard stuff. The very first, or like one of the first couple, patio stuff, perfect patio stuff. Yes, I remember. Or I might be wrong. I'm only like 60% sure with that. Anyway, so yeah, perfect patio, really, really nice hot tubs. Do we get other hot tubs from other expansion packs? I don't think so. So yeah, over here, I'm trying to kind of incorporate those like stony, like those rock kind of textures for the floor, and where there are rock textures, there's also going to be some floor lighting, which is really dramatic, really unnecessary, but it's a great piece of architecture still. Also, it's so funny because you guys saw in the master bedroom there is there is like a counter area that is placed on either side of the sink. And when I actually moved into this house, my Sims were so posh, they didn't want to cook for themselves. They hired a chef instead. And I found it so funny that the caterer like went all the way up to the third floor just to prepare her meal. Like, you guys might find that problematic, and if it is, just go ahead and delete those counters on that bedroom, because there are counters on the kitchen. I don't know why she went all the way up there. Anyway, so oh my gosh, I finally remembered the thing that I forgot earlier. I was gonna ask you guys, what is your favorite part of city living? Like, what's your favorite aspect? Do you love the apartments? Do you love like the create a sim, or do you love all the items? What's your favorite aspect, and what's your favorite asset specific to that aspect? If your favorite part is create a sim, what's your favorite aspect? Like, do you like the hairstyles? Do you like the clothes? Or if your favorite aspect is the items, like which particular item do you like? For me, it's really a toss-up what my favorite item is, but I feel like my favorite aspect would be, for sure, definitely, I love both create a sim and build buy mode, but I love build buy mode because I am a builder, and my favorite assets are like the buy mode assets for the living room, and for the the comfort and the surface assets are pretty beautiful. So that's it. And then over here for the outside, we are furnishing the landscaping, and this is kind of the landscaping that I want to have in the inside. But if you actually guys try it, if you guys try it for yourself, I swear I cannot talk. Tranquilizers. Yeah, the medicine that I took apparently had a high dosage of sleeping stuff, so I cannot think. My brain is like 80% capacity right now, I swear. Anyway, like I was saying, this landscaping on the outside was supposed to be how it's going to look like on the inside. But the plants were glitching out. So yeah, I wasn't able to push through with that. And also, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this. There is a trash bin, okay? There is a garbage bin on the wall. It's the one that came with, it's the one that came with City Living. I accidentally went out of my game there, but whatever. But yeah, the garbage bin, is the one that came with City Living. You couldn't really see it because it's really small, but it's located outside of the kitchen. Okay, guys, like it's located outside of the kitchen, like in a wall, like outside of the kitchen. Just look for it. There's only 4 walls. So anyway, it looks like the speed build is coming to an end, just finishing off with some finishing touches right here. But you know what, you guys? I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my commentary right here. Okay, guys? And let's go ahead and cut into the floor plans where you guys can see all the different levels of this build, and hopefully you guys enjoy this first attempt of mine at speed building a penthouse for the Sims 4 City Living. I had so much fun and I'm super proud of what I've done, and also thank you for sticking with me throughout the whole video. Comment if you're still around, and thank you for bearing with me while I'm sick as well. But yeah, I think I've said everything that I need to have said. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my commentary right here. Once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button if you guys want to support the channel, because it really does help out a lot. Okay, you all have an awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.